Well, guys, we have some good news. Two checks I want to talk to you guys about today. Social Security totaling $1,755. That's right, just a little bit under $1,800. We got a lot to talk about. Mark your calendars, guys. The first of two checks for Social Security that is amounting to $1,755 total is due to arrive in about 7 days. And just in time as Americans are seeing inflation hit their cash flow with an additional $433 a month in household opening. Yep. You guys guessed it. The poor keeps struggling while the rich billionaires and entrepreneurs and investors just keep spending this holiday season. But hey, all hope is not yet lost. Now, a lot of states are still flush with residual income and budget surpluses. So they're sending major inflation checks to their residents all the way into next year. Are you still crossing your fingers for a holiday check from your state government? Let me know what you guys are thinking and let me know what you're feeling in the comments down below. Also, if you own a home, let's be smart, guys. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below. Me and my family did it. Thousands of you guys have already done it. Make sure you guys are not caught off guard by another very expensive, unexpected home repair again. Get your free home warranty quote. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description or maybe even a pinned comment down below. Now, Black Friday has come and gone. Yay. Now we can start saving money again, right? Well, something felt very different about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Something felt off. I don't think it really felt like Christmas. It's kind of like, I was there, I saw some decent deals, but there was this like looming sense of dread the whole time with inflation just continuously with prices being ever so high. And it's even like, to me, it's kind of like, it's not really a deal when the thing is already overpriced and then they knock down like 10, 15, 20, 30% off. It's like, yeah, but it's still too much. Anyway, maybe I'm just cheap. Even the major news channels are saying the exact same thing. Inflation was weighing on shoppers even when they were checking out Black Friday deals. Here, check this out.
Turning now to the official start of the holiday shopping season, with an estimated 115 million of you expected to hit the stores today, both in person and online, in search, of course, of those Black Friday deals. CBS's Elise Preston reports on how inflation could impact the bottom line.
'Tis the season to shop. This holiday weekend, a record amount of money will be spent, but many shoppers are being picky and looking for bargains.
I usually do like a lot of shopping for family members, but we kind of had to talk it's been pretty expensive, so not the same expectations from last year, but still trying to find like good stuff.
How has the economy impacted your Black Friday shopping this year?
It's cut it back a little bit. I don't think we'll feel it, but mentally I know it's there.
The National Retail Federation predicts more than 166 million people will make purchases this weekend. The economy and inflation are top of mind, says Catherine Cullen of the National Retail Federation.
We do know that many shoppers, still say it's important to me to spend and celebrate on holiday and holiday celebrations. That said, we're seeing a lot of consumers say, I need to make every dollar count. Consumers, particularly at the lower and middle income segments, are feeling squeezed.
The National Retail Federation predicts that holiday sales will grow between 6 and 8% this year. In November and December, shoppers will spend between $942 and $960 billion. This holiday weekend, consumers are racking up more credit card debt. Credit card balances rose more than 15% since last year, the largest jump in more than 20 years.
I had to put stuff on credit cards. I had to pay for one of my college classes on a credit card too.
But it seems gone are the days where people crowded into stores for Black Friday deals.
Actually, when we pulled up, we were thinking, what's going on? Like, where is everybody?
Now, here at this Best Buy in New Jersey, customers have been coming in all day and holiday hours are extended through the weekend. The company says even before the holiday shopping season began, online sales were nearly double what they were pre-pandemic. Jerika?
Very telling. Elise Preston for us tonight. Thank you.
Let me know if this happens to you guys. Like whenever I pay anything off, I'll always check the receipt and my balance is hovering close to zero most of the time. Sometimes it even hits zero altogether. Is it the same for you guys? Now, I wish my credit card bills would too hit zero. I wish for all of my viewers that their credit cards too would hit zero as well, and you guys can be completely debt free. Y'all know what I'm saying? Comment down below if you're debt free, and comment down below if you're not yet debt free, but you wish that you were, because if you do want to become debt free, we need to talk. Now, a little bit of good news for Social Security recipients. Now, you guys are set to receive the first of your 2 December payments in just 1 week. Eligible recipients will receive their first payment of $841 on December 1st and their second payment of $914 on December the 30th, equaling a total of $1,755 for the month. Now, the second installment of December's payments is a little bit higher than the first due to payments increasing in 2023. Yay, we're finally starting to see some of the Social Security increases for 2023 hitting bank accounts. Now, their own little way of supposedly helping out with inflation is this COLA increase. Not that it's necessarily keeping up with the additional $400 a month, plus that, more of us are paying due to inflation. More on that later. But the question is, why 2 payments, right? Well, I think most of you guys know already that December is one of the 3 months of the year in which people receive 2 supplemental Social Security income payments, or SSI payments. Now, the other months with 2 installments this year were April and September. The double payments offset the months in which no payment is sent out to ensure eligible recipients receive 12 payments per year according to the schedule for Social Security. Now, these months include January, May, and October. Eligible couples will receive 2 payments of $1,261 for the month of December, which that amount increasing to $1,371 going into 2023. Now, essential persons, meaning somebody who lives with a person receiving supplemental security income and provides necessary care, will receive 1 payment of $421 and a second payment of $458 to be paid out on the same days. But question is it really keeping up, right? Now, according to the latest residual income number crunching from Moody's Analytics, the average American household is spending $433 more per month just to buy the exact same goods and services that they did a year ago. You guys feel that? And they say inflation's supposed to be slowing down already. Really, it's the wages that we should be focusing on. Frankly, wages for many workers, they just really and simply have not kept up and kept pace with inflation, meaning that more Americans have been losing purchasing power big time. Hourly earnings fell 2.8% on average in the year to October after accounting for inflation. Experts recommended making small changes, all those little decisions that add up at the end of the month. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Fixed expenses versus discretionary spending. All right, so fixed expenses are for essentials like your mortgage, your rent, you've got food, transportation costs, even insurance. Discretionary costs, that's like dining out, going out to dinner, taking vacations, splurging on the newest Louis Vuitton bag, buying the latest pair of J's, things you don't really need. See exactly what you can hold off for now. You can also do some substitutions if the cash flow can bear it. Traveling somewhere closer to home instead of a more expensive luxury vacation further away, or staying at a cheaper hotel. These are just some examples of doing the extras but kind of cutting back a little bit. Or perhaps getting a haircut. Getting a haircut maybe every 8 to 10 weeks instead of every 6. But then some people get a haircut every week. And I know some people haven't been on vacation for a long time, so maybe that doesn't apply to everyone. Oh, and let's not forget about those monthly subscriptions. Take a long, hard look at each one of those monthly subscriptions. Don't forget about streaming services. All of these are hitting your credit card. Now, I know when that American Express card bill comes in the mail, a lot of people just kind of look at it, maybe even don't even want to open it because you're afraid of what it might say, right? Go through your credit card bill, Visa, MasterCard, whatever it happens to be, and make sure that all the charges on there are legitimate. I've been watching a lot of scammers trying to get over on people because a lot of people don't even bother looking at their credit card statement. They make the minimum payments and don't even look at the charges that have hit their accounts. So do not get screwed. Do not fall for that trick. You would be very surprised exactly how little you use some of these subscriptions every single month, but you would be really surprised at how much money they suck from your bank account every single month. Now, as for fixed expenses, consider stocking up on staples, shopping with a food list, comparing stores to find the best deals, and switching up what you're eating. Now, just some examples for you guys to consider. If you commute to work and spend a lot of money on gasoline, download those apps like Gas Buddy and whatnot. They track where the cheapest gas prices are. Now, if you guys need some help on that, finding the best apps that give you the cheapest gas near you, hit me up in the comments down below. Maybe I can share some references and some of the best apps for saving money to find the cheapest gas in your area. You can also sign up for loyalty programs if it makes sense for you. I also have this one credit card that gives me the best deals on gas wherever I buy gas. So let me know if you guys want to know what credit card that I'm using that gives me the lowest interest and the best cash back benefits and bonuses. Let me know if you want to know what credit card that is that I'm using. Now, while low and middle income Americans scrunge and save, the rich entrepreneurs and stock market investors, they just take their sweet old time and spend their money as usual. I guess when you're making as much passive income as they are, you're not as affected by the local economy that the average American is. But just take a look at these two stories right here. The Langman Hotel in Boston sold out their $135 per adult Thanksgiving brunch at its in-house restaurant weeks before the actual date. Now, right across town in Dorchester, demand has been booming for a different kind of food service. Catholic Charities is seeing so many families at its free food pantry that they had to close early some days and tell some patrons to come back first thing in the morning. Some families went to bed home. Some families went home hungry that day. On the cold Saturday morning before Thanksgiving, patrons waiting for free turkeys, they began to line the street at 4:30 a.m., more than 4 hours before the pantry opened. America's economy has definitely gone topsy-turvy 3 years into this pandemic. The rich are still flush with cash and enjoying their financial freedom. I guess their upfront sacrifice was worth it. But what about the Americans who are still struggling today? The wealthy continue to buy their Marc Jacobs and Ralph Lauren bags. Wives and maybe even their mistresses may see Louis Vuitton and Birkin bags under the Christmas tree. They are still riding first class on American Airlines for the holiday season. Now, at the same time, America's poor, they're running low on cash buffers. Forget about passive income and residual income, struggling to keep up with rising prices and facing climbing borrowing costs when you use credit cards with high interest rates or loans just to make ends meet. Really? It's just a little bit insane and very sad what's happening to some Americans right now. Don't you guys agree? Now, the Fed, also known as the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell and company, they're hoping to control inflation by raising interest rates sky high, but this solution is hitting low and middle income earners even harder. Not to mention, if things get any worse, it's these people, the low income, middle class workers, who are going to face layoffs and bankruptcy first. I mean, am I right? I mean, really, after 18 months of rapid price inflation, poor Americans are depleting their cushions. Some poor and middle class Americans didn't even have any financial cushions. American families were still sitting on about $1.7 trillion in excess savings in the middle of this year, but about $1.35 trillion of it was held by the top half of earners and just about $350 billion in the bottom half. How's that for your trickle-down effect, right? Companies that serve more low-income consumers, they're already reporting a major pullback in spending. Have you guys seen Target's stock market price recently? Anyway, according to Target's chief executive, quote, many consumers this year have relied on borrowing or dipping into their savings to manage their weekly budgets. But for many customers, those options are starting to run out. As a result, our guests are exhibiting increasing price sensitivity, becoming more focused on and responsive to promotions, and a little bit more hesitant to purchase at full price. Well, I guess it really depends on what you're buying. Some people don't even have a choice. Now, a lot of people are having to rely on inflation checks from their state and local governments. As many as 20 states, depending upon who's counting, they're currently offering one-time rebates or expanded tax credits. This is up from just a handful last year. Some states have already distributed the payments that they had, but others will be sending checks well into next year. Yeah. 2023 checks are definitely coming. Now, you may want to contact your state agency to see if you still qualify or if you may be eligible for these checks, especially if you don't regularly file an income tax return. Now, speaking of income tax returns, make sure you guys get your taxes filed so that you can get any check that is due your way. Now, most of the time, the state payments are a little bit smaller than the checks that were sent out by the federal government back in 2020 and 2021, but still, they can still be a huge help. Now, New Mexico, for example, they offered up $1,500 in rebates and direct relief. Some residents can file a 2021 state tax return as late as May 31st of next year and still be eligible for a payment. Now, some states, including California, base payments on a taxpayer's income up to $250,000 for individuals and $500,000 for married couples in 2020. They must have filed a state tax return by October 15, 2021. The state's middle class tax refund credit ranges from $200 to $1,050, and payments begin in October and are continuing to be sent out through January. Still, Others, like South Carolina, they limit their rebates to people who had a tax liability for 2021, meaning people who ended up owing no tax last year will not get a rebate. The rebates were worth up to $800. Some states have to send rebates. A Massachusetts law requires that state revenue over the state's annual tax revenue cap must be returned to taxpayers, and a state audit determined that the cap was exceeded. Taxpayers will receive refunds equal to about 14% of their tax bill for 2021. Taxpayers who have already filed their 2021 returns should get their refund by mid-December, according to the state's website. Now, if you haven't filed yet, you can still get a refund if you file by September 15th, 2023. New York is paying rebates to homeowners through a new one-year program based on factors like income and where they live. The state is also sending out checks to families and workers who claim the state's child tax credit or earned income tax credit, and the average payment is $270. This was confirmed by the governor's office. Most eligible New Yorkers should have received them by the end of October. New Jersey expanded eligibility for property tax rebates with its Anchor Tax Relief Program. Residents who owned or rented their main home in the state on October 1st, 2019, and had 2019 household income up to $250,000 for owners and $150,000 for renters are eligible. Homeowners will get $1,000 or $1,500 depending upon their income. Renters will get $450. Residents have until December 30th to apply for the credit. Payments are expected to be made no later than May. Now, according to the Treasury Department, the rebates are intended as an annual program. So rather than a one-time offering, they're trying to do this every single year. Other states offering some type of rebates or credits are Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Virginia. Now, if you guys have any questions about relief payments in your state, you can definitely contact your state tax agency or revenue department. They typically handle this sort of thing with financial assistance as well. You can check out the Federation of Tax Administrators website, which offers a long list of agencies with contact information that can help you out. Some state relief checks get sent automatically, but it really varies with where you live. Now, in many states, you don't even have to submit an application, but you must have filed an income tax return for a specific year to qualify. Make sure to give this video a like, show your support. Better yet, go ahead and hit the share button and share the word, spread the word with your friends and your loved ones. And let me know if you hear about any other cash money programs in your area. I don't know about all of them, but I do know about a lot of them. So if you know of any type of cash money program in your area, make sure to share it with me. I would really appreciate it. I'd love to share it with our community right here on YouTube. I'm pretty sure our financial freedom fan would totally appreciate the heads up. But anyway, more financial excitement in the next one, you guys. But for now, this is our big money update and daily news report. Social Security checks coming in 7 days. Inflation costing Americans more than $400 a month. The rich entrepreneurs and investors don't really care because they're not really affected by it as much. Big surprise, right? And the multiple states sending out inflation relief checks to their residents. As always, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys dropping a like for it. And as always, be well, be safe, be healthy, and I'll see you guys on the next one.